So you move the inside handle to the outside, simply pushing it under the other one.
It's so elegant when you do it.
And then if you grab the base of the handles, you can usually pop them apart pretty easily. There we go. And cut off the tab. And then you pop the basket open. A lot of times for these first few steps we wear gloves, just because there's little bits of grass that can make splinters in your hands.
Okay.
Then you dip it or spray it. So the rim is the thickest part of the basket, so as long as that's nice and damp, it makes things quite a bit easier. And then the bottom. Then I push the bottom out and the sides in to reverse the crease. Just right along that crease. And then pop it back out again. And then since it's not round anymore, I kind of pull it round in a couple different directions between the handles and perpendicular to that. And then you can still see some of the crease here, so then I use some reverse pressure.
So the basket kind of wants to go back into line, and you just got to kind of coax it and help it back into order, because the basket is made on a grid of vertical spines and horizontal weavers, they call them, that go over and under. So it wants to go back into shape, but you got to kind of give it a little help.
Okay.
And also, as one of the last steps, I pull straight up, which helps align those vertical spines Kayla was just mentioning. And then let it drip for a few moments. If you put it at an angle, it drips a little faster. And then when I bring it back over here, push out the bottom, so when a customer is looking at it, it's actually pretty stable. And then you can start to work it like a ceramic pot, kind of
It's amazing.
from the inside.
It soaks up the water very quickly, and it goes from this very sort of pliable softness like this to being almost like Donnie just said, like a piece of pottery. Like whatever you mold with it, however you mold that, that's how it's going to dry, and it's going to stay like that.
And be hard.
Yes,
they're very
but
stiff.
it's very hard and stiff right now.
Did you always dip it again if you didn't like
Yep.
the shape?
You can dip as many times as you want, but it will get soft again like this once it's dry. It's just it fills up with water very quickly, and you can mold it.
And try not to get this.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
the salt from the tanning process might leach out.
But you will find often you'll have to straighten these. So having those wet is helpful.
Okay.
There's
So
the
that's-
last couple things I do. I look on put it on the ground, make sure it's a circle from the top, which after all that shaping, sometimes it's not actually a circle. And then I put them on something that's almost exactly eye level, and see if it's level across and front to back. Because a lot of times when you're done shaping, it'll be round, but it might look
Yeah,
like that.
if you set it down and you set it crooked, it's going to dry that way.
Right.
So you want to make sure all this laying out nice and flat. And then the one other
You
thing
can
that we
pull
do,
up on the side.
usually once they're dry, the one other thing we do is we take a little pair of these angle cutters, which we'll give to you. These are just jewelry angle cutters. And we just look at it and see if there's anything we can do to, like this right here.
Clean it up.
Oops, I don't know if you got that. It was a little piece of straw sticking out. Like I mentioned, when this is woven, there's hundreds of pieces of straw sticking out, and sometimes the weavers, like this one, yeah. So you can kind of snip that off. Obviously, there's thousands of woven spots here, so that doesn't weaken it at all. Doesn't make any difference, but it just makes it look a little nicer.
Okay.
So we'll send you a free pair of those too. Those are invaluable. People try to do it with scissors, and it just doesn't. It's not
They
as
look a
good.
little bit like cuticle clippers.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to stop this then.